Hey guys, welcome back to Cloud Patashala's video series on Python. Today we would be looking at data types, integer as well as float. In the previous video, we discussed string data types. So just to quickly summarize, anything which is defined with an inverted commas is considered as a string data type. Any user input that is taken using the input function is also by default a string data type. Now let's quickly see how integers look like. So integers are basically whole numbers without any decimals, and the best example could be a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20. So if I print the data type using the type function of a and print the data type of b, this should actually give me int as data types. So it is really easy to add values in integer data types. So I could just say print a plus b, and this should give me the sum of the integers, which is 20 plus 10, which is 30, right? So this is how integer data types look like. Now if I give the same thing as maybe a underscore a is equal to 10 and b underscore b is equal to 20, now these two now would be of the type strings because we are given the same naming convention that as strings. So let's quickly see what is the data type of this objects. If you see, both of these are strings because we are given it in double inverted commas. Now if I try to concatenate these two, so if I do a print a underscore a plus b underscore b, this would happily work, but then the output that we would be getting is 1020 instead of adding both the numbers to 30. So this is the difference between the string data types and the integer data types. Now there's a curious thing: if you try to add an integer data type with a string data type, so you would be facing some errors saying that concatenation is not supported between different data types. So basically what it's saying is the plus operator cannot be used on an integer and a string. So if you're adding any variables, it should either be a string to a string and a number to a number, which is actually integer. Now let's also look at the float data type. Now if I give f is equal to 10.10101001, and now if I print this data type, so I just say print type of f, so this should actually give me the data type as float. Is it possible to add a float with an integer? Let's quickly see if that is possible. So I'll add a with f and try to see if we get the output. So if you see, we are able to add the integer data type with the float data type. So the output is coming to be 20. So the input a was equal to 10 and f is equal to 10.1.0.1.0.10, and the value of f is 10.101010, and if you add both the variables, it would be giving you a floating number which is equal to 20.10101, and it is giving it up to some extra number of decimal points. The second type, we would also try to add this variable b with variable this, and we should be getting a similar output, but this time it's adding 20 to 10.1.0101, so that's why we are getting the following output. Now can we try and add a string with a floating point number? Let's quickly see if that's even possible, and the answer is no. Similar to that of int, so this is about data types in Python. So far we have covered a string data type as well as integer and float data types. The next data type that we have is called as Boolean. Now, Boolean is nothing but either true or it could be false. If I check the data type again using the type function, I should be getting the following outputs. The class that we are getting is a Boolean. These are actually used in conditional statements, and just to see if the conditions are met and if the outputs are generated. Similarly, I could see the type of value underscore false, and this should also be a Boolean. Similarly, if we try any other value as a variable, if it is anything outside of true or false, which is reserved by Python, we would be getting an error in the text editor saying this is not possible. If I could just say truth, so you see that this is actually giving us an error where it is asking us to define the variable inside the parenthesis, whereas if it is a Boolean variable, we could directly call it as true or false. We have actually covered all the 4 data types in Python. The first one being strings, the second one being integers, then being float, and at the end we discussed Boolean data types. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you like the content, please like and share the videos. Do subscribe to our channel so that you keep on getting interesting knowledgeable videos like these. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great time.